Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. I'm with my special guest host, Mike Fell, known by OC Metro as one of the top, Orange County's top criminal defense and victim rights attorneys. How you doing, Mike? You glad to be here?
I'm doing well. I'm glad you got through that bit.
I know it. I'm sweating. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do.
We can all see that.
This segment brought to you by where we're broadcasting from, Lion Air Museum. If you haven't been down here on the west side of Orange County's John Wayne Airport, we have this military tribute to aviation covering World War II vintage planes through the Korean War, and unbelievable. We've got a B-17 fuddy-duddy, the fuddy-duddy, right in front of us, a fabulous plane. All these planes, Mike, are still exercised regularly. They're taken out every 4 to 5 months and flown around, and it's unbelievable.
Now, this is, if you haven't been here, you definitely need to take your kids down here or come yourself. It's not only these airplanes amazing to look at on the outside, but they actually have some of them opened up so you can actually peer inside. And boy, I did that before the show. It was pretty cool.
Throughout the show, if you have comments or questions, we want you to give us a call. You can reach us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. And I'm excited to bring our next guest on, the founder and CEO of Real Estate Radio Network, Ron Quintero, and an absolute dedication in his media group to rebuilding our real estate sector across the country. Ron, welcome to the program.
Thanks a lot for having me on.
So, Ron, before the break, I really promoted you with this story, so I hope it's going to come out good and not put our readers to sleep. So the pressure's on you.
Well, Nelson and I were talking about this this morning, getting prepared for the show, and I said I'd like to be able to share a story with your listeners that came from Dallas, Texas. One of our radio show hosts over there, Cole Holmes, and he had in studio with him a young man that was 34 years old, and he told the story. And in addition to having this young man who's not a professional, he's not a realtor, he's not a lender or anything like that. Actually, he works in the software business. And he told the story of getting married at 26 and losing his wife to cancer at age 29, and at her passing, having a 1- and 2-year-old. And they turned to the church for grievance counseling and so forth, and there he met his next wife and ended up getting remarried about a year and a half later. They decided they wanted to have a child. And one day, she's driving her car, and he gets a phone call. And he answers the phone, and she's screaming, "I can't stop the car, I can't stop the car."
Right over the phone?
Right over the phone. And he's saying, "Honey, slow down, calm down, what's going on?" "The gas pedal is stuck, and it's going faster and faster. I'm losing control of the car." And he was on the phone with her, trying to coach her to try different things, and all of a sudden, while she's on the phone, killed. Plowed in the back of a car. And sitting in the studio with this person while he's telling the story is the estate planning attorney that his lender introduced him to, that said, you need an estate plan and you need life insurance, equivalent to being able to pay off your mortgage on you and your wife. God forbid should anything happen. And he talks about his girls that were now 4 and 3 and just losing their second mommy. You know, and not to mention his wife was 6 months pregnant with his son that he never got to hold. And that story is so relevant because anyone that's listening to the show right now, if you own real estate, you need an estate plan. You need an estate planner in your life. You need the proper professionals to surround you and protect your family and to protect your assets. And I'm amazed by how many people I talk to that own real estate that don't have that done. And he openly on air basically said, "Cole, I'm so glad I ran into you, a lender that is that compassionate and cares about your clients so much that you forced that meeting
Right.
You forced me to have that meeting. So that's the story.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very powerful story, Ron. And you know what? Sometimes in life, the tragedies actually open our eyes to calls to action. And who would have thought at that age it would have been wise to talk to a real estate planner? And that's, again, a very sad but a very eye-opening story. Thank you for sharing that.
You're more than welcome. It's hard for me to even tell it sometimes. I get choked up saying it.
Yeah,
so it's
right.
it's
powerful emotion.
I had the opportunity to meet the gentleman that told the story, and when I flew to Dallas a few weeks ago and met him face to face, and I cracked a tear when I met him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And these kind of calls to actions, we can respond proactively. You're listening to Nelson Radio, and with that kind of a story, we're extending the invitation. Do call in. Reach out to Mike and I. We'll put you in touch with whomever, whatever professional sector can help you be proactive in your planning. You can reach us direct at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136.
Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.